Jesus fucking Christ. Anyhow.
I'm a martyr to our fans.
You are.
As you should be, Richard. I mean, come on.
I got messaged last week. Where are you guys? What are you doing? Why aren't you here? Well, fuck, we have fucking lives sometimes, you know?
Let's do it live! Fuck it, let's do it live!
No, we don't just live here for the fans. Well, maybe a little, but that's all I think about all week. Oh my God, the fans are going to be pissed if we don't do a show this week.
You know how little I think about that?
Cretins to a man as far as Chris is concerned.
I mean, Jesus Christ, I do this for my own pleasure. I mean, if not, then what's the sense? You know, do I appreciate the people who want to listen and support the show? Yes. Do I appreciate the constant complaining and the bullshit? No.
Ribbed for your pleasure.
That's right.
Or her pleasure, maybe it is.
It's all part of being public figures.
I just, you know, I love what this is. I love what we do. I love the outlet. I love the fact that it gives me something creative to do. But, I mean, to try and say that I'm doing it for anyone else is, I'd be lying.
I've never heard anybody refer to this show as creative.
Well, I
they
mean,
fucking should. I mean, I did a pirate voice. That's pretty fucking creative.
yeah, I'm hoping you continue doing it and you get fucking laryngitis. I want you to keep doing it until you lose your fucking voice, until you have to talk out of a voice box.
I took your criticism on point, and I'm not doing it again. All right.
I have to say, I got some pretty good feedback from some people about your pirate voice.
It was very popular with the fans, but
yes, it was.
Chris said that it'd do some nasty things to me involving ice cubes and a mallet if I continued to do it. So
no. Hey, I'm all on board with you. You can do that fucking pirate voice until the end of time. And the reason being is, and I told you this after the last show, eventually you'll get sick of it.
I'll tell you what, he hasn't got sick of the, English accent yet.
That's true. I am secretly Stephen Struford and have an American
Jesus
accent.
Christ, is this a new conspiracy?
No,
this has been a conspiracy that's like 3 or 4 years old.
Do you argue with yourself online?
Yeah, that's what I do. I was like, hey.
Richard actually owns a bookstore in California.
Did you date my ex-girlfriend?
Yes, I did.
Well, how was she?
Yeah, she wasn't too bad.
Then you didn't date her. My apologies if she's listening to this show, but
yeah, like she ever listens to this fucking show. Christ.
We did have some unusual people in the chat room last week.
I did?
Not last week, the week before when we had Phil on.
By the way, and I hate to shit on you, Steve, but fucking Phil was great last time.
I miss a show and you replaced me with Phil?
Oh my God, Steve. We were fucking just bam. You couldn't have had a more fucking just perfect show than what we did with Phil.
It did go really well.
Oh my
we're not
God.
just giving you shit, but it was a really good show. I had a lot of fun.
Phil and I were just like fucking two guys just slamming home runs back to back. We were like fucking, what were those two guys that played on the Yankees? Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. Just fucking bang, 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 bang.
Okay. Yeah. You're comparing yourself to two all-time greats there.
Now listen, Steve, with the exception of the fact that Phil and I both party, although, Phil probably quite a bit more than me, we kind of fit the models.
I don't think you fit the model of Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris.
In that friggin' what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now. Not a metaphor. Analogy.
Oh,
that analogy, it works, Steve. I'm not saying that we were baseball players.
No, you may be like Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, but not
Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, no, hey, I definitely agree with you on that, Steve.
I'm
I'm
just
not-
saying.
I will
And
not-
that's a better analogy.
Steve, I will not argue that point with you. For once, I will fucking give you that one.
Well, it's true.
You know? So you're saying there's a chance.
I love that first movie. I didn't care for any of the others, but
As you shouldn't.
yeah.
So, are we ready to do this?
Sure.
Should
Are
I
we
go
not already
should
doing
I-
it?
Well, no, because we have kind of a warm up, kind of a ramp up, Richard, and then we introduce the show. Do you not fucking pay attention to what we do every week?
I was being sarcastic, you giant lemon. Get on with it.
Yeah. Should I use the original show title I was going to use, or use the better one?
Well, I would use the better one. That's
I think
me, just
I'm
because
going to
of
go.
how horrible it is.
I think I'm going to use Steve's.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that one works.
That one works.
Yes.
All right. Okay. This is the Fortean Slip, episode 42. Wake me up before you Ogopogo. Welcome. As promised, we will be doing the Canadian cryptids. That's cryptids that apologize to you after they scare you
And say,
and say A and boot. A boot. So, yeah, and I apologize for the lack of a show last week.
Look at that. He's already become part of the show. He's now
That's right.
apologizing. He's
I'm
Canadian.
apologizing, which I normally wouldn't do. I've had a lot going on. I was doing some work for a friend of mine, trying to get an apartment ready, painted out, and get them moved in so that they can enjoy their nice new ocean view.
Oh, well,
Nice.
that's nice. An ocean view.
Yes. It's been nice being over there because I get to enjoy the ocean view, Steve.
Oh, there you go.
I get to enjoy the waves and the ocean view and the ocean air. I never was an ocean person. Like I was never one of the,
walks on the beach.
I'm not one of those people who has like the Salt Life sticker on my fucking car, or which I think is douchey, by the way. Or I don't, life's a beach, all that
You don't
bullshit.
drive a Prius.
No, I don't drive a Prius. But I've come to enjoy not the ocean itself, because I don't like to swim in the fucking thing. I don't swim in a body of water that has creatures larger than me that can eat me.
You know how many ways you can die in that body of water?
Oh yeah, I mean, forget the animals.
but you're in Maine. You're in
Fuck off.
in the Atlantic.
Listen, shut up.
It's nowhere near as dangerous as the Pacific is.
You go swim in the Atlantic and get it caught in the undercurrent and
Yeah.
tell me it's not dangerous.
Yeah, the riptides, motherfucker.
I damn near died, man.
I live on the Atlantic, you pillock.
Jump in and find out. Tell us.
Yeah,
tell
but
us
you
how.
guys,
How
wait, no, you live in a fucking magical world. You have magical powers, so I don't believe that the ocean can hurt you.
The riptide on his
You
side.
pray to
is the
fucking
only way.
Neptune or whoever, and
Well, you live in a stupid country, and you're too stupid to realise the dangers the ocean presents. So
No, we're not.
that's
we
why I don't
get
go in it.
No. If we're being racist about this and saying about the magicalness of England, then America's stupid. That's how that works.
And, I'd have to agree with you because it's baffling to me, and I read this on the internet, so I can't take credit for this one. But if what was more stupid than the fact that the mayor of Amity was still the mayor in Jaws 2?
Yeah.
After those beaches will be open for the 4th of July.
They really dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, fuck. And then the guy that saved you is like, there's another shark. Yeah, fuck you.
They actually fired him in the second one.
Yeah, it's
And I was like, what? Why would you do that? He's clearly right.
that's fucking crazy shit. So anyway, I will update the fans. I am now unemployed.
Just could you keep the disdain out of your voice when you say fans?
Oh, sorry, Richard. Sorry to the wondrous fans of the show. Is that better, Richard? Does that help?
We ain't
Now it's
fucking
sarcasm.
NPR here.
Well, what do you want? Do you want truth or sarcasm? What
I
can
want
I
you to
fucking
show
do
some
for you?
appreciation to these people who take time out of their busy schedule to listen to us religiously.
For 5 years, they've done it.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them.
Well, one of them.
But yes, I am currently unemployed. I was let go from my job just the other day, and for the record, like, I'm not like completely upset about it. I was unhappy. I enjoyed the job that I did. I enjoyed what I did for work. I did not enjoy the bureaucracy and the bullshit. I had a problem with one of my bosses that was ongoing.
You had a problem with somebody?
And yeah, imagine that, huh? And this is after I spent a year, like literally before, because they fired one of our previous bosses. And I had spent a year under this guy, literally going to work every day with anxiety because I didn't want to deal with the man. And
Been there, man. Been there.
it's, it's hard when you have to swallow your own bullshit and not say a fucking word so that you can keep your job. And it's, I'm a type of person where I have a hard time swallowing anything down and not saying anything. But I have shit that I need to take care of, so I need a job. But I've been wanting to get the fuck out of there for a long time. I was truly fucking unhappy. So, but this past weekend, I'd already had a trip planned out. Took my kid down to Six Flags and had some fun. Although I couldn't go on any of the fucking goddamn rides, I was pissed off. I went on one roller coaster and my neck felt like it was going to fucking snap. And it really scared the shit out of me. So I wound up going on that and the new Harley Quinn Spinsanity. So if anybody wants to check that out, I was at Six Flags, New England. There's videos of what it looks like online. And I had a fucking blast on that. Hear all these people screaming and I'm just fucking hooting and hollering, laughing my ass off. I loved it. But I wanted to go on, I've never been on an upside down roller coaster. I really wanted to go on one. But, asked my son, hey, check this out. Don't pay attention to what it's doing to you. And you get off the fucking ride and be like, yeah, no, you don't want to go on that. My neck hurts. I'm like, fuck. So, but I had a good time and tried not to think about things as they are. And
the best thing to do when you're down is to do something like that.
Oh yeah, no. I had gone to see a friend the day of my firing. I went to see a friend first thing in the morning, and she said to me, she's like, hey, just you're already planned this thing to go away. Why don't you, just go, don't think about this, everything's great, just enjoy yourself, get away. And she was absolutely right.
Let me tell you something, Chris. I have this opportunity for you.
In the eBay business?
In the wonderful world of online retail selling. Retail repurposing, we'll call it.
And I'm listen, hey, for the record, I'm sure I could do well with it.
You would do awesome.
I'm sure I could do
30% of your earnings.
right.
Well, no, I was going to do it infomercial.
Everything you want to know.
A fucking pyramid scheme. If you can get 5 people underneath you, Chris.
Seriously though, I've been doing.
Join Steve Bay.
Join Steve Bay, the most fastest growing online market.
Steve, if we started the pyramid with you and I, we'd be at the top.
Let's do it.
You're fucking right. We'll fuck all kinds of people out of money.
And then we'll be under federal investigation and lose everything. But by that time, we'll have had a lot of shit.
We'll have a lot of money overseas and offshore accounts. We'll be fine, Steve.
You can do self-help managerial lessons like Jordan Belfont does now.
Yeah, and no, we'll get a boat. We'll be like friggin' L. Ron Hubbard to avoid fucking, not paying our taxes. We'll fucking get on a
What fun
boat.
is that, though? You're out in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Because we can put on like a captain's outfit and just give ourselves like all kinds of medals and shit that we didn't earn.
There is that.
And eventually, Steve, we can create our own religion.
Well, that's the best way to make money is create your own religion.
Just remember, whichever one of us dies first is the Messiah.
Seriously, you got to get into.
And I guarantee you, with as much as I've abused my body, I will be the first one to go.
And Steve did say unto the masses, take thy holy 5 cents down to the flea market and purchase 3 useless toys. Then thou can resell them on the interweb for $20 a piece. Amen.
Right. That's how it works, man.
Send your seed money to Steve.
You just gave away the whole fucking plan. Now how am I supposed to do it? You just gave it away for free.
I'm sorry, Steve. I'm sorry.
And well, there goes my
Steve 316 says I just made a fast buck.
Like Tony Robbins said, I am not your fucking guru. Which actually, the Tony Robbins documentary, the "I Am Not Your Guru," is a really good documentary if no one's ever seen it, or if you haven't seen it. It's a good documentary. I mean, I watched it because he happened to be on a talk show that I listened to, and I liked what he had to say. Not that I like him, for what he does, but I liked what he had to say about the whole thing on the show. So I went and I checked it out, and it's actually a really good documentary.
I'll have to watch it. What's it called again?
I Am Not Your Guru.
All right.
It's on Netflix. I believe it's on Netflix. Last I knew it was.
I'm not a fan of Tony Robbins, but whatever. I'm not a fan of anybody like that. But that's me.
Richard, have you seen the trailer for the new Coen Brothers movie?
I have not.
That's coming out on Netflix. Oh, shit. Now I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to have to look it up.
I've been incredibly busy the last few weeks. I haven't been really watching much YouTube.
Oh, well, stand by.
Yeah, it's ferret mating season, I think.
No, Infinity War came out last week.
On Blu-ray?
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
I thought, well, it was already out here, I believe.
In America. We get them at the cinema first, but we get them on DVD last. I don't know how that works.
I see. It's called The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh, I have seen something about that.
Yeah, it's a Netflix movie, and it's going to be in limited theater release.
Oh, you said Coen Brothers. I'm already in.
Oh yes, I fucking love the Coen Brothers, with the exception of the Lady Killers. That was one I couldn't do.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, God, but everything else that I've seen of theirs, just spot on.
Men Who Stare at Goats, Burn After Reading, they're all great.
Yeah, the Coen Brothers, anything I will sit and watch. But yeah, I watched the trailer to The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and I was like, "Yep, I'm in. Let's fucking do this." So, if you get a chance, check it out after the show. But yeah, so Canadian cryptids. Richard, you did your due diligence. Something
I often do.
Something that Steve has never done for the show.
Oh, that's not true.
Unless it was about a Bigfoot head behind glass. Then he did some due diligence to find out eventually, not on his own, that it was fake.
I didn't do enough due diligence. And
Correct.
Sometimes you can't do enough due diligence.
Well,
Sometimes it takes some dude over in the UK who's not Richard Allen to tell me that I was wrong.
What was that, Adam Bird?
Yes.
Yeah. That was hilarious, by the way.
For you.
Oh, God.
You
have no idea. Like, Steve comes to me with this thing, and I know I've told this story so many times, but Steve comes to me, he's like, "Oh, dude, he shows me the picture, and I'm going to interview the guy," and I just gave him all the fucking rope I could. I'm like, just fucking winding that rope out until he come back with the, yeah. Did you ever release the interview you did with him?
Yeah, I think I did.
Because it was, oh God, it was so hilarious. Wow.
I released an edited version. I don't know if I ever released the full version. I doubt I have it anymore.
See, you shouldn't have released edited because now people are going to say you left shit out. That's
I
important.
did.
That's important to the interview, Steve.
I left shit out as like locations and things because the edited version was supposed, he asked me to edit out the locations, which didn't really matter because they were all made up anyhow.
Right. I mean, bullshit. It was all bullshit.
Yeah. It was a good
So,
story.
Yeah.
It'd make a good movie.
A lot of these people they spin a good tale, Steve. I mean, look at what happens. So, anyhow, Richard did his due diligence to research these amazing Canadian cryptids, and
I picked out 4 of my favorites and decided to run with them.
They only have 4 cryptids up there, or
no, there's loads, but I picked out 4.
And you didn't go over this with Steve and I?
What?
I mean, what if Steve and I had, some input?
You guys are going to give your input in a minute when you give me shit and endlessly interrupt me when I'm doing my due diligence.
Oh, okay. Well, continue then, Richard. I appreciate all that you do for the show.
You are more than welcome, Christopher. And we will move forward with
before you do, though.
Oh, you fucking... I don't even start.
This is something you might actually want to talk about, though, Richard. Have you seen the trailer for the Cthulhu game they've made?
I have.
What do you think?
Fun. Yeah, it looks pretty fun.
Yeah, it looks interesting. But anyway, all right, continue.
May I? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll start, of course, with that wonderfully named lake serpent, Ogopogo, which, can I just say, has one of the coolest cryptid names in the entire cryptid world.
I think
Second
it is.
to
I think
only
it is
one.
The coolest.
Well, there's another one coming up, which, Steve, you're going to get a kick out of, but...
Yeah, we'll see.
No, you are. You're going to laugh.
There's one that's called the Penis 69 Monster.
Oh, even better than that.
Pussy
even
monster.
better than the 14-inch hog monster.
Oh, no. Well, we'll get there then.
Speaking of, Penis Monster, while I was at Six Flags yesterday, I had to use the bathroom. And this fucking couple has their young kid in there. And why the fucking wife had to come in to the fucking men's bathroom, I don't know. Trying to usher their kid out. And at one point, she's like, "We need to get out of here. There's too much penis in here." Yeah, no shit. You're in the men's bathroom, bitch. But anyway, continue with the lake monster.
Okay.
Ogopogo.
Ogopogo.
Ball or stick?
If you've ever seen the video footage of this, it's quite impressive.
I have. The kids bouncing around on the ball?
Yeah, that's one of them. No, you fucking dick.
Oh, sorry.
No. Of the actual lake monster, it's a bow wave, but they've filmed it in such a way that it looks like it might be an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Very clever. So, in Canada, in Okanagan Lake, it's said to be the home of a world-famous lake monster named Ogopogo. This sea serpent is said to be approximately 40 to 50 feet long, and Ogopogo sightings have been reported in the area of Rattlesnake Island across from Peachland. While visiting the Peachland. Why is that funny?
It's like they ran out of names. Oh, peaches grow there. We'll call it Peachland.
That is traditionally how places were named.
Oh, they were just named after other places.
It's just
they ran out of shit.
They ran out of names. First Avenue. Oh, yay.
Well, I lived in America, in Colorado. The first town I stayed in was called Deer Trail. So,
oh, yeah.
That's pretty dull.
Mm.
So, no, there weren't. There were a lot of turkeys, though.
Hmm.
And we don't have wild turkeys in England, so that was a bit of a shock.
Wait, you were shocked by wild turkeys?
Well, they're just scurrying around. They're quite intimidating birds.
They're not that intimidating at all.
We've grown up with them. I wasn't used to them.
They almost became the national bird, you know.
What, of all America?
Yes.
Usually get drunk on wild turkey.
Yeah. Yeah, we have drinks
So
named after
you had
them.
a choice between the bald eagle and the turkey, and there was actual open debate which one you went with.
Yes.
Who doesn't love a turkey?
Well, apparently.
Yeah,
I mean, and listen, if the turkey had become the official bird of the United States, I mean, it's kind of at this point completely relevant because a turkey will fucking look up at the sky when it's raining and drown itself to death because it's fucking stupid.
We don't protect turkeys in this country. We protect bald eagles now.
We shoot
But
the
just
fucking things and eat them.
Imagine had the turkey become, you know, the bird of the country.
There's a town up in Alaska where bald eagles are becoming a bit of a nuisance.
They actually look. I've seen the videos. It looks pretty fun.
I saw a joke interview with this guy who was recommending to exterminate to keep the numbers down. And the interviewer was like, would it be fair to call you an enemy of America?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, that was really clever. Well done.
Hey, Ogopogo.
Ogopogo.
So, in 1946, a sighting is claimed to have occurred at an Okanagan Mission Beach. This event was supposedly witnessed by about 30 cars of people who all claimed to have seen the same thing. In 1968, Art Folden filmed what is claimed to be footage of the alleged creature. That's what I was talking about. It's a bow wave from a boat. A computer analysis of the footage concluded that it was a solid bow wave. Well, Folden noticed something large and lifelike in the distance out on the calm water and pulled out his own home movie camera to capture the object. A subjective investigation conducted by Benjamin Radford with Joe Nickell and John Kirk for the National Geographic Channel TV show Is It Real in 2005 revealed that the object Folden filmed was indeed a real animal, but its size had been greatly overestimated. It was probably a waterfowl or beaver too far away to be identified. It's a sodding fucking bow wave.
He said beaver. Oh, hey, I just found out you can stay overnight in the Christmas Story house. They're opening it up for like a bed and breakfast.
Can you?
Yeah.
I love that film.
It's a great film.
It's great.
I hope you shoot your fucking eye out.
Well, yeah. It's close to me. I might do it. Just over in Cleveland.
Great.
We don't have any Ogopogos in Cleveland, though.
No.
In 2011, a cell phone video captured two dark shapes in the water. A suggested explanation is that the video shows two logs. Radford analyzed the video for Discovery News and concluded that the video quality is poor and the camera is shaky. But a closer look at the
imagine that. A shaky
I know. When hasn't it been?
Jesus
when hasn't it been?
If you have a shaky, blurry camera, please go out and film or take pictures of cryptids.
Reveals that instead of one log
He just
object,
continues where he was.
there are actually two shorter ones, and they seem to be floating next to each other at slightly different angles. There are no humps, nor head, nor any form, only two long, darkish, more or less straight forms that appear to be a few dozen feet long. In short, they look like a lot of floating logs, which would not be surprising since Lake Okanagan has tens of thousands of logs harvested by the timber industry floating just under the lake surface. Well, I think that wraps that one up.
Well, good. Maybe it was a dead Ogopogo.
A dead Ogopogo.
Well, maybe he just, when they die, they just lay out flat.
Yeah. But, like, they wouldn't have flotation bladders, so they just sink when they die.
How do you know? Maybe that's what happens when an Ogopogo dies. Have you ever seen one? Have you ever autopsied an Ogopogo?
No, but giant squid wash up on the shore. I'm pretty sure Ogopogos would.
Maybe they bury their dead.
You know, Steve might be onto something here, Richard.
It does raise an interesting point. I mean, under
Maybe they eat their
shores.
dead. I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
But what about skeletons?
Well, they probably don't have one.
That's right.
They probably don't have one.
Right.
They're like a jellyfish.
Yes.
An Ogopogo jellyfish.
Why not?
Absolutely. I mean, you can come up with some mundane log explanation, or come to the dark side and go with.
And if it's a
jellyfish.
log, no skeleton, Richard.
Right, no skeleton in a log.
Right, yeah, that's fair enough. That's true. There is no skeleton in a log because it's a log.
Oh,
All right, Ogopogo.
carry on.
Can we carry it? Right, yeah. So, yeah, that's Ogopogo, a possible 50-foot long sea serpent living in Lake Okanagan in Canada.
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 Oh, Canada.
Amusing.
Yeah, well.
Right, this is the one that's going to give Steve a cheap giggle.
Oh, good.
I'm going to tell you to shut up in advance, but I know you're going to laugh anyway.
Go ahead.
The Yukon beaver eater.
I couldn't help it. Either.
Beaver eater.
Just
Well,
because I
this
knew
is
you were
great.
going to laugh.
The greatest of all cryptids. Go on.
The Yukon beaver eater, or Saitochin, is a
Or
relatively
Yukon.
unknown. Or Yukon. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right.
Beaver eater.
Sorry, Richard.
Yeah, no.
I was gonna.
No.
I thought it was gonna be something else, and I wasn't gonna laugh or anything. I was gonna, be all straight faced and.
I know, there was nothing.
Beaver
I knew
eater.
it was coming. I knew it was coming. I was like, yeah, there's only one way this is going to go. Just accept it, Richard. Just embrace it. And drive it out. So,
You put that.
he's
one
a
in there on
relatively
purpose.
unknown cryptid from the oral traditions of Canada's First Nations people. It is described as bigger than even the biggest grizzly
Are we allowed
bear.
to still call them Eskimos?
No, that's Alaskans, isn't it?
Yeah.
This
I
is
thought-
Canada.
I thought that Eskimos lived in Canada too.
They're native Canadians.
Oh, okay. All right, continue. I'm sorry. I apologize to Native Canadians. Or
You should-
Canadians. Anyway.
You're pretty amusing. You should have your own show.
And I do.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Keep sabotaging it, though, as your producer tries to read out information he
What have I
spent
told
hours
you?
researching.
What have I fucking told you? Riding it to zero, Richard.
All the way to the bottom.
That's right. So anyway, the Yukon beaver eater.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It is described as bigger than even the biggest grizzly bear. And it's got its name from its diet. It caught beavers by flipping up their lodges and seizing the exposed animals. When shown a buck of prehistoric animals, natives chose a giant ground sloth as the closest lookalike to the beaver eater.
Huh.
Dawn Charlie, a Canadian First Nation member, contacted the British Columbian Scientific Cryptozoology Club in 1989 with a sighting. BCSCC co-founder Paul LeBlond interviewed her, and in 1990 his account was published in issue number 4 of the BCFCC's magazine. The latest report was from Violet Johnny, my husband's sister, who was fishing with her husband and her mother at the head.
Your husband's sister?
Violet Johnny?
I didn't know you had a husband, Richard.
You're pretty, fucking no. Just keep it coming, Steve.
Well, no, you
Keep
just
it
said
coming.
your husband's sister reported this thing.
Yeah, this is in quotes, dipshit. I'm reading a fucking actual verbatim quote from a magazine.
Okay.
I can't work with you two anymore. Right. I've
ahead.
lost my place now.
Your husband's sister.
My husband's sister. who was fishing with her husband and her mother at the head of Tachin Lake 4 or 5 years ago. An animal came out of the woods 8 or 9 feet high, bigger than a grizzly bear. It was Saytochin, and it was coming towards them. They panicked, fired a few shots over its head, and finally managed to get the motor going and took off.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
There are other reports.
They can prove the fact that this beaver eater exists, and they shoot over its head. They didn't
Which is
shoot the
probably
fucking thing.
bad luck to try and kill a beaver eater.
You wouldn't want to kill a beaver eater while
It's
eating
like breaking a mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like 10 years bad luck killing a beaver eater.
Oh. Okay.
But you'd be rich. You could prove that this thing exists.
How would you be rich? The only thing
Because
it'd be useful for would be the porn industry.
True. But there's a lot of money in porn.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think any porn
or
stars
in the
are
alleged videos that Steve might have in his possession.
I actually got rid of those, by the way. They are no longer with us.
No longer with you?
No, they are in a landfill somewhere.
Oh.
Go on. Beaver eating. I
Right.
enjoy a little beaver myself. It's
Do you
Beaver
now?
eaters are supposed to live in the mountainous areas east of Frenchman Lake. One possible explanation is the giant ground sloth. As said before, natives identified a picture of a giant ground sloth as the beaver eater. However, giant ground sloths were herbivores, and all 5 genera that are currently known to have lived in North America went extinct. Could a giant ground sloth survive there by adapting into a beaver eater? Jesus, how many times are they going to say that? Beaver. Other explanations are an unusually large grizzly bear, a surviving short-faced bear, Arctodus simus, or strangely enough, a giant beaver of the Castroides genus. A cannibal giant beaver.
I think
I'm
it's that one.
I'm going all in on that theory
Yeah, I
right
agree.
now. Chris, where are you?
I like the short-faced bear.
No.
Those are some motherfuckers.
A beaver that eats beaver. I mean, there's been a lot of movies made about that, and it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Who doesn't like a little beaver on beaver?
Are you done amusing yourself?
No.
I don't think it is.
Jesus Christ.
I do have a point, though, right?
It's a big industry, Steve.
Yes. Go on, Richard.
May I?
Yeah.
You may.
Well, there was, interestingly, a species of giant ground sloth, Megalonyx jeffersoni, that was native to the Yukon area in particular. Paper published in 1996 by the Universidad de la República in Montevideo, Uruguay, suggests that at least some giant ground sloths may have been omnivores. How do they prove that, though? All they've got is bones.
Teeth and stuff.
Yeah. Dr. Richard Farina and Dr. Ernesto Blanco proposed that Megatherium could have scavenged meat, taken kills made by large carnivores, or even been an active hunter, using its long front claws and great strength to overturn giant extinct armadillos. There were giant armadillos?
There was giant
That's
everything.
That's more scary than giant sloths. Have you ever seen armadillos? They're freaky looking things.
Damn skippy they are.
Stupid ears and their little snuffly noses. I don't like them.
Didn't they carry leprosy?
They might have done. That's as good as reason or any to hate them.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Why not? This theory has not gained much traction in the wider scientific community, however, as it may be worth noting, though it has a meat-eating ground sloth would not be the first instance of a member of a herbivore family evolving to exploit resources or fill an ecological niche, and that they may simply have gone extinct before evolving to that point of developing specialized meat-eating features that would be obvious from fossils. Modern herbivores, for example, hippos and deer, have been shown to sometimes eat carrion or bones to obtain necessary nutrients, and under the right circumstances, this occasional behavior might become necessary or beneficial enough to encourage the evolution of a more omnivorous species.
You about done with this beaver eating shit?
I've got one last paragraph, dickhead.
Oh, God. I mean, it was fun while you were talking about eating beaver and all that, but now this whole sciencey shit, I don't
Steve's gotten bored with your beaver talk.
Really?
Just saying.
Hurry up. Let's
Really?
go. Let's get it done.
Okay, well, I could always do it in a pirate voice if that'll make you feel better.
No, that'll just
Uh-huh.
get you in trouble with Chris. That's all.
No. Another possible explanation is the giant beaver were native to North America and could grow to more than 7 feet long and nearly 300 pounds. The most recent fossil dates to around 60,000 years ago, but the genus is thought to have survived to perhaps as recently as 10,000 years ago, meaning they likely coexisted with early humans. One might theorize from this possibility that the Saitochin is an example of an oral history preserving the memory of a creature that long ago humans saw and interacted with, much like the instances where Australian Aboriginal oral tradition mirrors what is represented in the fossil record.
Did you have a hard time with that one, did you, Richard?
Yeah, it got a little messed up at the end there.
Beaver.
So what do we think about the whole Yuccan beaver eater?
I'm down with beaver eaters.
It's a cryptid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Is that all you got?
It sounds like a Canadian cryptid.
Well, maybe that's why they're so, calm and nice all the time. They get plenty of beaver.
And they just eat beaver.
This is the way to,
I'm
be.
down.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be.
So we're going all in with the beaver eater.
Why not?
Oh, you asked our opinion on whether it exists or not?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it doesn't exist.
I'm not just rattling on facts about this thing. We're supposed to talk about it and decide whether or not it exists.
We did talk about it all through your little diatribe there.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Beaver eater. If ever a cryptid would exist, that would be the one I'd want.
Yes.
The Yukon beaver eater.
For once, I'm with
Alright,
Steve.
so we move on from that to the Canadian chupacabra.
There's a Canadian chupacabra?
There's a Canadian
There's a
version of the
Canadian chupacabra.
Holy shit.
I don't know if the one in Puerto Rico eats goats. I don't know what the Canadian version would. Moose, I guess.
Bagels.
Bagel.
It's
What?
got to be a nicer version.
Bagel?
It doesn't.
It's a bagel sucker.
Wow.
Oh, it's a nicer version of, and I'm assuming he's French Canadian.
What does fucking bagels have to do with French Canadians?
I don't know. Aren't bagels Canadian or French?
No, no.
Okay, a croissant then.
That's a little better.
Okay,
Not much though, Steve.
croissant sucker. Maybe he eats beaver just like the other one.
Well, residents of a small community in British Columbia have a mysterious killer in their midst and are taking steps to protect their pets, farm animals, and small children. Whoa. This one's a lot upper scale from the one down in Puerto Rico that's beating up kids. An animal thought to be part timber wolf has been stalking Bowen Island just off the coast of Vancouver for about 6 months, preying mainly on dogs and cats. Anyone who has a family, has pets, and anyone who has seen the way it looks at you, knows that it's dangerous to have around, said an island resident.
Sounds like a fucking coyote.
It's not a coyote, it's a fucking Canadian chupacabra.
But
It's
Wait, the Canadian chupacabra?
The Canadian chupacabra. It's
I wonder
half wolf,
No one
half
escapes
coyote.
the Canadian chupacabra.
I wonder if Bob Dominguez has been up there to look at that one.
The chupacabra hunter?
Yes,
He doesn't think about the chupacabra, Steve.
it doesn't have to.
Just saying. He doesn't think about it.
Doesn't suck goats. He just goes after your pets.
Ah,
But chupacabra means goat sucker.
Yeah.
So he can't be a chupacabra.
no?
This is half wolf, half coyote, and half bear.
Wow.
He's half of all those things, huh?
Hmm. So some interesting math.
Yeah, he's the most vicious, violently dangerous chupacabra in the world.
Ah.
The animal has shown no fear of coming up close to the house. And obviously you don't want to have a concern that he's there and all of a sudden the kids are in his range. A local veterinarian believes it's part dog, part wolf, and part bear, and may have been abandoned after being
And
bought.
that veterinarian should lose his license.
Well, he didn't say half. He's just saying.
Wow.
They are a mixed up species.
Oh.
They are part domestic with the instincts of a wolf and the strength of a bear, said Dr. Alastair Westcott. They don't react
Dr.
normally.
Allen.
And so people can't manage them. And so dumping them is a common thing to do. Ready to kill the Canadian chupacabra. Missing pet signs are posted all over the island. The animal has killed at least 3 dogs, more than a dozen cats, 2 sheep, and many deer.
So now he's up to eating deer. Before it was just cats, and now one dog, apparently.
Sheep and deer as well. No one's safe from this vicious monstrosity, abomination of nature and God. It's half wolf, half bear, and half coyote. It's unstoppable.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I have to interject here. This is totally off subject, but have you seen the video of the guy at the hurricane and he's like fighting the winds, and then those 2 guys are walking behind him?
I haven't seen the video, but I
Oh
heard.
my God, it's hilarious. And now people are making up all these videos of, their own videos, kind of mocking it. It was great. But anyway,
As they should, Steve.
it was so funny he's fighting the wind. Of course, the wind is blowing the opposite direction than he's fighting. And these 2 guys just walk behind him. Maybe Trump was right. Maybe there is fake news out there.
There is fake news, Steve.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty fake. Go on, Richard.
Richard?
I wonder if the Ogopogo likes beaver.
Did we lose Richard?
He's probably just upset that I went totally off topic, or he's looking for the video. I think that's what he's doing. He's looking for that video.
I think we literally lost Richard.
Probably hung himself. Well, God, if that would.
I think we lost Richard.
We lost Richard.
Fucking lost him. Fucking completely lost him. Oh, we might have Richard Allen back.
Now joining the live video call, Richard Allen. Or not.
I was talking for like 10 minutes before I realised the internet connection had gone.
Yep.
It's that damn Canadian government conspiracy against
That's
you.
right. So what more do we have on the Canadian chupacabra, Richard?
2 nurses in the town of Kitchen. Fuck.
Kitchen fuck.
Fuck.
Man, they named their towns pretty cool up there.
Kitchen Mayakusubi in northern Ontario, Canada, just in northern Ontario, found a bizarre creature on a lakeshore while walking with their dog Sam. Sam sniffed at something dark and furry that was lying face down in the water and promptly pulled out a strange beast, unlike anything the pair had ever seen. They claimed it was part wolf, part coyote, and part bear. The animal, which had a long, hairy body and bold skin on its head, face and feet. Oh, fucking cuntbag, son of a bitch!
I'm sure that's how they refer to it too.
Is that in the story? I mean is that are you reading directly from the story there? I think we lost Richard again.
Right, 2 nurses.
No, we didn't. Okay, good.
Okay, the animal. The nurses took a few photos of the smelly thing and left it there. It was little more than a regional curiosity until photos of it recently appeared on the web. Speculation ran rampant, but one thing was for sure: the Canadian chupacabra was a real dangerous threat.
I bet it is.
It is a dangerous threat.
Okay, so that's the Canadian chupacabra.
I agree.
That's 3 down, 1 to go.
2 to go.
Oh wait, you said 4.
Yeah, but I wasn't counting the Wendigo.
But
What the fuck?
how can you not count the Wendigo?
Yeah, Richard.
Come on, let's go. Now we
Yeah,
got
fucking-
time constraints. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting through them rather quickly. I expected you guys to be a little bit more argumentative than you've been.
Well, how can you argue with Canadian cryptids? They're such kind people. They can't be lying to us.
That's right.
I suppose. All right, so we move on now to the giant Canadian spider bat.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Spider bat.
expecting. Yeah, come on. A spider bat.
Sounds like a superhero.
Get kind of excited.
Yeah. It's a bat that looks like a spider, I'm guessing, or a spider that looks like a bat.
Well, it's funny that you should say that because it's suspected that it's actually half spider, half bat, and half fowl.
Half wolf, half bear, half elephant.
Half chicken.
I'm never going to
How
get
come we
bored
don't have
of
any
it.
good chicken cryptids? We need a chicken cryptid. I'm
Okay.
just saying. I think a chicken cryptid would go over well.
What about the dude that had the chicken that he cut its head off and it lived for like I don't know how many years afterwards?
Well, that's a normal thing with chickens, though. They run around for a while.
No, this thing like lived for years.
My grandfather made me watch him cut chickens' heads off. It was
Yeah, I used to watch that shit.
This will be good for you. Whack!
Mm.
Then I had to shoot my cat because it got run over by a car, but it was still alive. That was bad.
Were you crying when you pulled the trigger?
I didn't actually shoot it. My stepdad did, but I had to watch. I wasn't allowed to close my eyes. This will be good for you. Ba-boom! It wasn't good at all.
Are you
I
sure?
love the cat. Smokey.
But are you sure it wasn't good for you, Steve?
No, it wasn't at all.
Oh, okay.
Seeing death is never good.
Just checking.
How can death be good?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it fucking put some hair on your chest.
It did not.
Okay.
That came years later.
All right.
Wendigo, go.
I'm with you, buddy.
Oh, wait, we're on the spider bat. Spider bat, go.
Spider bat.
Yar, the spider bat.
Half moose.
Half moose, half chicken, half bat. creature described by the eyewitnesses as kind of like Mothman, but with spider teeth and small
Kind of
white
like
eyes.
Mothman.
So something you've never seen looks like something else you've never seen.
I'm down.
It's about 5 feet tall when crouched and quite muscular. Yeah, it takes care of itself. Good for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
much like I
tools.
take care of myself
Well groomed.
while watching
Well
porno.
groomed.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's important
drinks
to-
only the very finest vintage blood.
Yes.
Virgin
Important to make
blood.
yourself feel good.
Hmm.
Go on.
It has only 2 small white glistening eyes, unlike how the creature is shown in the eyewitness sketch. It may have also have a spider-esque face, but this is unproof.
Well, duh.
Well, I'd like to know what is
It
proven.
might be this. It might be that. It could be. Probably not, but it might be.
No, probably not.
Would you
Steve.
recognize this cryptid if you saw him again? Right, so the following is the original report written by the eyewitness. I don't know exactly what time it was, but it was dark. I live on a farm. I was walking home after putting our farm animals to bed on my farm when I passed an old, practically fallen down barn on my farm.
How many times are you going to say farm? Is that how the story's written?
That's how the story's written. It was clearly not a...
It was not a
English
professional
major.
writer. No.
I glanced at the barn as I
On my
neared
farm.
it and witnessed a huge, bulky, maybe winged thing duck away into the barn incredibly fast.
On my farm.
It seemed... it seemed to me... It seemed to
Hey, was
me...
there a farm?
It seemed to me like it cowered away when I looked at it, like it didn't want to be
Seemed
caught
to me that was a
watching
farm.
It was huge, seemingly too big to fit through the large open window at the front of the barn on my farm when it appeared to be perched. It actually says on my farm. I just its eyes were
No, I believe you
tiny
because I'm pretty sure there was a farm.
and glistening white. Once I saw the thing, I ran as fast as I could from my farmhouse. I felt a sensation that made me feel like something was rushing towards me incredibly, but never reaching me. That's the only way I can explain it, that it was still don't like going outside on my farm when it's dark, and that barn freaks me out a bit. Once in a while, I hear noises from seemingly within it. It sounds like someone setting down a pile of wooden planks over and over. Could be an echo from elsewhere on the property, but I don't know. I also feel like it may have just been my mind playing tricks on me.
Yes.
I feel like the barn is watching me whenever I pass it on my farm.
Did he have
So
a farm?
The whole cryptid invented from this guy who is really proud of his farm.
Aye,
Uh,
aye, indeed.
I don't know what it was. I didn't really see it. I think it was a bat. But
I
looked
think
like
it was a
spider.
spider bat.
Yeah, I didn't see it. All I seen was the barn on my farm. I didn't see the cryptid.
I
heard
don't
it.
think the
It was a
guy
spider
saw a
bat.
cryptid. I think he had a farm,
Ugh.
but I'm not sure.
The story wasn't completely clear on the fact if there was a farm or no farm.
Okay. I'm with you, Steve.
I just wish Richard would better research these stories before he reads them. Kind of like I do with the news.
What?
It's well researched. The news is well researched before I ever read it.
Well researched. I'm
Yes.
lucky if you even look at the website before we open up the news.
I didn't say I was the one researching the news, Richard.
Oh, right. Your team handles that, does it?
That's right. I am the
He does have a team.
talent on my farm.
You got to admit he does have a team.
Okay.
So he can do as little work as possible.
That's right. Well, isn't that what having a team is all about?
I guess. I mean,
Right.
I wouldn't know. I don't have a team based on what I deal with every week.
No.
But, you know.
If we were a team, we lose every game.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Do we have any more Canadian cryptids? Or was that the whole story about the moth creature bat guy?
Yeah, that was a spider bat.
Yeah.
Oh, we got?
That one's made up. Completely.
You're pretty sure that one's made up.
There's one eyewitness account, and he didn't see anything. Just assume.
He saw something that was half spider and half bat and half bear, Steve.
Yeah, well, fuck your moose.
And the moose you rode in on. Right.
Mm.
So our final Canadian cryptid,
Wait.
and by far my favourite.
He went over 4.
Yeah, I know. He says 4.
I may have to give it to him, but, you know, he did go over 4.
Yeah, he says 4 at the beginning of the show, and then springs a 5th one.
He thinks by adding the 5th one in, he's being an overachiever, Steve.
I don't know what he thinks. It's just like rude to say you have 4 and then give us 5.
I agree, Steve.
I mean, normally in life, getting an extra thing would be great, but not
in
on
this
this
case,
it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But I do want to hear about the Wendigo. Is that how you say
The
it?
Wendigo.
Wendigo?
Yes.
I do want to hear about it, so let's go.
Go.
Maybe
Right.
the title of the show wouldn't make any sense if we didn't.
Well, the title of the show doesn't have anything about Wendigo in it. He went with yours,
I
remember?
went with Ogopogo.
Oh, that's right.
Even though mine was clearly better, he went with
No,
yours.
mine was better.
No. Mine was better.
Jesus Christ. Enough.
We should just name them both and let the fan decide.
Why don't we just call it Down on the Farm?
I'm glad you said fan.
The one person that's still listening at this stage.
That's right.
Go, Wendigo, go.
Wendigo. Right. The Wendigo is a demonic spirit rooted in Algonquin-based Native American folklore. In some scary stories, this supernatural creature can curse and possess humans, causing them to suffer from cannibalistic urges that can never be sated. It's believed that many different individuals can be infected by this single ancient evil, serving as multiple extensions of it. These tales are believed to be the world's first zombie stories. The myth originated as a way to prevent those facing starvation in times of famine from resorting to cannibalism for survival. The Wendigo mythology later morphed into a way to encourage moderation and cooperation within tribes. Anyone guilty of greed or jealousy, or anyone who had ever tasted human flesh, was considered tainted and prey for the beast. Tribes began to appoint Wendigo slayers for hire, and those who were believed to be transforming into a Wendigo would be put to death.
That's it. I nominate Fred Dunn as Wendigo Slayer.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Fred Dunn.
He's really
Fred
the
Dunn.
only Canadian we know. Well, besides Randy.
Yeah, and no.
Randy
Fuck.
doesn't strike me as a Wendigo slayer.
Fred Dunn fucking could take down a Wendigo with his bare hands. You ever seen that man?
Randy could drive over one with his RV, though.
That's right. He could.
Yeah, but it might mess up the paint.
So we don't want that.
I don't see it happening.
Yeah, we don't want that, Steve. Anything else on the Wendigo there, Richard?
Anything else on the Wendigo, he asks. The earliest version of the Wendigo legend came from and describes it. Yeah, wait, I've already read that.
I nominate Richard as the new newsreader since he does just as good a job as I do.
Those who had previously been driven to commit cannibalism or as a desperate act of self-preservation during a harsh winter could be affected by the evil entity, as could anyone with harboring feelings of greed. This malevolent spirit is driven to its insatiable hunger for human flesh, so any human possessed by it would slip into a savage-like state, like some mindless zombie. Here's an interesting fact. I can't find 2 pictures of the Wendigo that look the same.
Huh.
Everyone draws it differently. And even though it's supposed to be a zombie human, it's always got antlers.
Huh.
Very weird.
Are they antlers or antennae?
No, they're antlers.
I kind of like your version. They look like antennae.
But I can't draw for shit.
I know,
Well, it's like-
but it's just as good as any other version. When you're drawing some made-up creature.
Yeah, exactly. But it's interesting, like, everyone can agree what Bigfoot looks like, but no one seems to know what a Wendigo looks like.
Well, because it's an evil spiritual type creature. Maybe it's a shapeshifter.
That's true. Maybe it's a skinwalker.
Oh. Never thought of that.
Yeah.
Skinwalker.
While earlier Native American culture spoke of the Wendigo as a spirit, eventually it took on the shape of a physical beast. This beast could go in to infect a person if that person was tainted by greed or had committed the sins of consuming human flesh. Like the spirit, the creature was able to poison the minds of the humans, turning them into a Wendigo and forcing them to constantly crave the meat of other humans. The emancipated creature, topped with a stag-like skull head. Oh, there we go. Big sunken eyes and skin stretched and possibly tied over its bones, is known to give off the stench of death and corruption. This shambling skeletal beast is similar to a zombie, not just in its seemingly mindless hunger, but also in its form. Its striking tall yet seems fragile and haggard, falling apart from decomposition as it moves. Yeah, creepy.
Badass cryptid right there.
Wendigo is awesome. It's like a zombie, but it's got like antlers and shit.
He's got
So
everything.
So
Got
it's
it all.
like, yeah.
He's half zombie, half jackal, half human.
Half Bigfoot.
Yeah. I mean, he's got
He's got the
everything.
best.
Half
He's
spider
got the
monkey.
Half Satan.
Half chupacabra. He's got it all.
I like the Wendigo. I think I nominate the Wendigo as the best Canadian cryptid. But he doesn't. He's not very Canadian because he's not very nice.
No?
No, whether in the form of a beast or a spiritual entity, the Wendigo possesses supernatural abilities that make it impossible to escape. Despite its gaunt figure, it is naturally large, fast, and strong, with heightened senses and endurance. The Wendigo is a hunter, immune to even the harshest climates. It stalks its prey and can mimic human voices. So its favorite pastime is luring people away from the safety and driving them mad deep into the wilderness to consume or possess them.
So when they were making up cryptids in Canada, they came to the end and they got a little lazy and just threw everything into one, and that's where the Wendigo came from. So everything, this thing can do anything.
Wendigo psychosis is a real psychological disorder, so there is a little bit of truth to this.
You really become a Wendigo?
Well, you become paranoid and cannibalistic. You know, you develop a real appetite for human flesh.
I don't think I'm going to get that kind of psychosis. I don't want.
Well, it's but it's a real thing.
But you're not going to start eating human flesh, Steve.
It's called cannibalism.
Yeah, well, no, because cannibalism is like something you do in extreme circumstances.
Not always.
You know, when you're stuck in the middle of the wild and it's your only source of protein, you know, it can be understood if not condoned. Wendigo psychosis makes you literally want to eat people all the time.
No.
No.
I'm not going to have.
You're never going to get that to that stage.
No.
No.
I might eat a little beaver. That's as far as it's going to go.
You had to take it back there, didn't you? Of course you did.
Well, Richard's the one he put that cryptid in there on purpose because he knew the beaver eater.
Well, to his credit, Dean Cooper also knew it was a Canadian cryptid.
Of course, that fucking
Dean
half
Cooper knows
pirate,
everything.
half fucking Santa Claus, half fucking Jesus Christ figure thought that he knew about it. I mean, for Christ's sake, come on, Richard.
He's Dean Cooper. He's done everything.
Dean Cooper.
He's done it all.
Yeah.
And he's half of everything, much like the cryptids we fucking discussed tonight.
And he probably even lives on a farm.
I'm willing to bet he does.
I'm going to guess. Or has lived on a farm.
Or he's talked about living on a farm incessantly.
There's a farm somewhere.
In his life.
Yes.
I agree.
That means a lot to him.
That's right.
Well, whether you believe in it or not, the Wendigo is definitely one of the more famous Canadian cryptids.
Well, aside
And
from
it is definitely
Ogopogo,
most deadly.
aside from Ogopogo, who's not very deadly at all, probably just eats fish.
It's probably just a bow wave.
The Ogopogo just eats fish?
Well, if he eats anything, I'm going to guess. I mean, he's in the water and shit.
Okay.
Just saying.
I'm down.
But aside from him, it's the only other Canadian cryptid I'd heard of the ones you spoke tonight. And Sasquatch, of course.
Right.
Sasquatch is more...
And speaking of Sasquatch...
It's pretty much North American, though.
Yes.
So, you know, it can be kind of considered Canadian, too.
Right.
Yes, Richard?
Well, we can't really talk about Canadian cryptids
Wait, are you going to put a
bringing
sixth one in there?
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, this is part of the news, really. But we can't really talk about Canadian cryptids without bringing up a certain lawsuit that was,
Laughed out of court.
laughed out of court.
Did they barely even made it into... I doubt that they even gave him any say in court. I doubt he even spoke. I don't know. It didn't say in the story. Let me go look. Where'd it go? I lost it. Oh, there it is.
Is this part of the news?
Yes.
Oh, then fucking Steve. Do you have any news?
I do.
No.
Straight out of Canada.
Here comes Steve with the news.
Wow.
Lawsuit against... This is from infotel.ca, which stands for Canada. Lawsuit against BC government to recognize the existence of Sasquatch fails. I can't... I can't say that we didn't call that.
Yar, his voice be writing checks his butt can't cash.
Oh, Jesus.
Most people in the province have opinion on whether or not Sasquatch really exists, but a BC man took his belief of the creature to a whole new level. Insanity. I put the insanity in there, but
By making Muppets.
Yes, Todd Standing sued BC's Ministry of Forest, Lands, Natural Resource Operations, and Rural Development, aiming for the provincial government to declare once and for all that Sasquatch is in fact an indigenous creature of our province. Not our province, their province. He sought a declaration from a judge that Sasquatch is a hominid or primate or goat or moose or wolf. That type of species.
Yar, he be half full of those things.
Also known as Bigfoot, and is an indigenous mammal living within British Columbia. Standing claimed in his notice of civil claim that the province infringed upon his fundamental human rights. How so? As it relates to his concern regarding Sasquatch, and claimed the province committed a dereliction of duty in regard to recognizing and protecting the Sasquatch species, a hominid or primate, also known as Bigfoot. In a written decision last week by Supreme Court, by the way, this
man also known as an asshole.
Yeah, this guy's my new hero. Supreme Court Justice Kenneth Ball, the provincial government argued Standing's claims is based on assumptions and speculations, lacks an air of reality, and his statements of fact are ultimately incapable of proof. The
Basically, he'd be saying that Standing be full of shit.
They're basically saying that Standing had no standing. The province added,
Good one.
yeah, that I've done it before. It's an old joke. The province added that no legal right of standings has been infringed or violated, and said his claim was frivolous and an abuse of the process. In his response, Standing said that the province knew or ought to have known that the existence have known of the existence of Sasquatch, and that the species is likely at risk, threatened, or endangered. He added that the province had done nothing substantial to acknowledge the existence of this fictional thing, I put that in there, of Sasquatch, and that there are no safeguards in place to protect the species from being killed. He denied that his statements were speculative due to the strength of video evidence he's captured of the Sasquatch.
Which video be that be? Blinky, winky, or shitty?
In Ball's short written decision, he stated none of Standing's rights had been infringed due to the government's inaction of recognizing Sasquatch as a species, and added his claim had no prospect of success. No prospect of success at all, ever. Can I say something here?
Sure.
Claudia, please learn from that.
Yeah.
Learn from what happened to Todd, and remember who wrote your statements to the courts, and don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't put yourself through that. I like you.
Stop, Claudia.
Please, yeah.
Just stop.
Take advice of God Swan and stop.
You actually read it.
Of course I did, man. I told you. I read them all.
The God Swan.
Yes. Oh, we got a chupacabra story too. This is from Charlotte Observer.
Canadian chupacabra?
No, this is a good old North Carolinian chupacabra.
Well, it's fucking drowned now.
Oh yeah, it's probably dead. Questions are being raised as to whether a second chupacabra devil dog has been photographed in the backwoods of North Carolina. The latest image features a creepy skeletal animal with little hair and a long tail, like a monkey. Its head is hidden by bushes. State wildlife officials admit it's freaky, and yeah, I know. I knew it when I went there, and I still did it.
Yeah,
Terrible, Steve.
You can't help yourself. I know.
I know, it's horrible.
It's a mental disorder.
Admit it's freaky. In some North Carolina, a mental disorder because I try to make stupid jokes that don't work.
That be true. It be Steve syndrome.
No, that's not even a good. You could have came up with something better.
Alcorn dysphoria.
State wildlife officials admit it's freaky, and some at the North Carolina. I'm sure that's what their statement said. And some of the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences.
Alcorningtons.
That's better. Took to facetiously calling it a
Took me a few
chupacabra,
moments, but I got there in the end.
which is a mythical monster dog with vampire-like qualities. Half monster dog, half vampire, half canine.
Half Frankenstein, half fucking.
The photo was
Dog
taken as part of a state camera trap program known as North Carolina Candid Critters, which
Half
captures
pig man.
images of animals roaming the state's
Half
wooded
goat
areas
man,
at night.
half Mothman.
Half farm. State biologists decided to try and explain the photo in a recently posted YouTube video titled, "You Won't Believe What This Chupacabra Really Is." Jesse Burkhead of North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission believes the animal is diseased and contagious, but not a monster dog. This is a coyote, that has a skin condition, called mange. Burkhead says, that's why you're seeing a lot of hair loss, a tail that is almost completely naked. It causes the animal to itch and hurt and pick at themselves. And it can give such animals...
sure it not be half coyote, half fox, and half octopus?
And it can give such... I think we're done with the half shit.
I don't think so. I think we be just getting started.
Give animals a monstrous appearance. Their skin gets almost wart-like. It's thick, it's leathery, and lesions will develop. Not liaisons, lesions.
No liaison?
No.
Hmm.
So it's a coyote, according to them. Now they could be covering up the facts, but
Fair enough.
ooh, government-funded paranormal study revealed in Skinwalker documentary. Did you know there's a new documentary about the Skinwalker Ranch?
I heard about that.
Yeah. And then all this stuff comes out about the Skinwalker Ranch. The recent documentary, Hunt for the Skinwalker, chronicles disturbing paranormal occurrences that allegedly took place on a remote ranch in the Unitah, is that how you say it? Uintah Valley of Utah. A book of the same name, which covered the results of an extensive scientific investigation of the ranch, inspired the movie. However, the documentary further reveals that the Department of Defense primarily funded the study. In essence, this was a real X-Files. By the way, this is denofgeek.com. I'm sure a very reputable website. The 2005 book, Hunt for the Skinwalkers, Science Confronts the Unexplained at a Remote Ranch in Utah. I'm half Scooby-Doo. Utah. Was co-authored by Las Vegas-based investigative reporter George Knapp and biochemist Colm Keller. Keller works for Robert Bigelow, the owner of Budget Suites of America and Bigelow Aerospace. Bigelow has had a lifelong interest in the paranormal, and Keller has led several Bigelow-funded paranormal investigations, including the study of the ranch in Utah, which has been named by locals the Skinwalker Ranch. The term Skinwalker originates from a Native American legend of a malevolent, shape-changing witch some believe wanders the vicinity of the ranch. According to Keller, during their multi-year study, the scientists did experience strange and often terrifying paranormal activity. However, it eluded their cameras and recording devices and always seemed to be one step ahead of the researchers. Doggone it all. The phenomenon outsmarted them, claims Keller.
Yar, they be slippery as a wet fish.
I'm trying to get to where it says something about the Department of Defense in here. Okay. The New York Times put out a story in December of last year about AATIP, the Pentagon UFO study, Knapp explained, and they sort of conflated some of the facts. The $22 million that they allege funded AATIP actually went to AAWSAP, the program that basically funded Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies.
Fucking acronyms.
Yes, they do.
Easily to confuse those two.
That funded the study of the Skinwalker Ranch and funded much broader discussion, much broader than just UFOs, what we'd call paranormal activity. I hope to clarify that there wasn't just one Pentagon program. There were two, says Knapp. People have not understood that connection, adds Corbell. This is the most studied paranormal hotspot in history, not only by private industry, but also the United States government, by the Defense Intelligence Agency. Oh, that's it. It's close enough. Good enough. So they claim that the United States government funded Skinwalker Ranch, the studies there.
For what purpose, though, Steve?
Some sort of defense initiative, apparently, because it was the Department of Defense that did it, or the Defense Intelligence Agency. So I wonder.
Be a great mystery.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is the news, fellas.
Oh.
There goes Steve with the news.
I don't like this new thing he's doing.
What the pirate voice?
The pirate voice during the news, the whole fucking little blurb he added with the news. I mean,
I like the ending this time.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone's a goddamn critic. I'm trying to mix it up.
Oh, I forgot one story.
No, no.
It's a solar observatory story.
Okay.
Should I read it? Well, Richard already did the news ending. I don't know if I'm allowed.
Hmm.
Sunspot Solar Observatory's mystery closure triggers rumors about anthrax and aliens. The ongoing closure of Sunspot Solar Observatory in New Mexico has triggered frenzied speculation on social media, with explanations ranging from anthrax to a full-scale alien invasion, with an official explanation referring only to an unspecific security issue. The observatory, which has been steadily fixed on the sun since 1947, abruptly announced it was temporarily closing on September 6th without initially offering an explanation. Little information was initially forthcoming, with the post office in the nearby town of Sunspot also closed until further notice.
Hmm.
One local law enforcement official, Benny House, also claimed to
Benihana?
Benny House
Oh.
also claimed to have spotted a Black Hawk helicopter hovering above the site. On Thursday, the National Social Observatory, which runs the facility, tweeted, "Thank you for your patience while the closure of the Sunspot Observatory is resolved. Our facilities are open and NSO is operating as normal." Yeah. So the vagueness of the announcements prompted many to take to Twitter and ask what was going on. Doug Olenek, some Twitter user, wrote, "Most likely something threatening, a chemical, I'd guess, was sent to the observatory through the post office." Kind of makes sense.
Huh.
Remember the anthrax scare from 2001? I sure do. Ken Hudson posted, "Why keep it a secret? Isn't the observatory largely funded by the taxpayer dollars? Isn't the FBI funded by taxpayer dollars? The sheriff's department? Don't the people in the area deserve to know about a security issue in their midst?" I think so. Alex added, "Sounds like something entirely unrelated to solar observation, especially since
Sounds fishy, Steve.
they've evacuated the post office. More likely, it's a secret weapons lab." Why do people jump to those fucking conclusions?
Steve.
It's probably some very mundane explanation.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the news.
The news is really over now.
That was fucking weak sauce.
The news is really over now.
That's fucking weak sauce. Just
I've heard that other solar observatories have closed down, though. Not just that one.
Yeah.
But I just kind of briefly saw it on Facebook. So, of course, most things that briefly come across my Facebook feed are legit. I think we need to end this horrendous excuse of a show.
Yeah.
Canadian cryptids are boring.
Yeah.
Except for the Wendigo.
The Wendigo's cool.
Yeah, he's
He
down
didn't
with
even
Wendigo.
try to get involved, though.
Who?
Steve.
I did.
Did
I talked
not.
a lot about eating beaver.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that.
Well,
Thanks
you
for
put it in
bringing
there on
it
purpose because you knew.
I think we can't end the show without, talking about the guy who faked having like Down syndrome so they could,
Wait, what?
have a nurse service come and bathe him and change his diaper.
I don't wish to be disrespectful to anyone with Down syndrome, but it's pretty obvious when you've
Most
got
of
that
the time,
condition.
yes. Most of the time.
Yeah.
How can you? I mean, you can fake a mental disorder, or you can fake a mental handicap of some sort, but Down syndrome would be a harder one to fake.
I just thought it was pretty funny that the guy got nurses to come and bathe him and change his diaper.
There's some sick fetish he's got going on there, but
Some
whatever.
fucking sick people out there.
Whatever makes you happy, I guess. Hey, I'm going to pretend to be Down syndrome so I can get nurses to change my diaper.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It just doesn't, yeah.
Why would somebody with Down syndrome need to wear a diaper?
Yeah, right.
Like the whole story is just fucking weird.
And how smart were these? Why are they even nurses if they couldn't figure this out?
Those were some dumbass nurses.
Well, I
Maybe
mean, I don't
so.
know the story. I'm just going from what Chris has told us about the story. But
I
unless
mean,
you're handicapped in some other way, most Down syndrome people, and in fact, say 99% of them can use the bathroom on their own.
right.
Yeah, I've known a lot of Down syndrome folks, and they're very capable people.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they know how to wipe their ass generally.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been the Fortean Slip, episode 42. Wake me up before you Ogopogo. If you like this shit, hit the little thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment, subscribe. Check out Richard's comic strip, Bigfootin' with Keith and Colin, on Facebook. Check out Matt Knapp at youtube.com/bigfootcrossroads. Check out, as always, Phil Polling's YouTube channel that makes no money whatsoever anymore. youtube.com/parabreakdown. And check out our good friend and Canadian chupacabra hunter, also the Wendigo hunter, Fred Dunn, at dreadfun.com and youtube.com/Dred Funn.
Buy my ebook.
Oh, dear God.
I have
What
this
ebook?
course. Well, it's a course that
It's a
you can
pyramid
take.
scheme,
Yes.
and you will all get fucked out of money. We will be back next week. We haven't decided on the actual show topic. We're going to discuss it, I do believe, after the show. And we will come to a conclusion. Maybe. Possibly. Until then, see ya!